Hello and welcome to Dynamic Range Day 2022. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. Maybe if you can, you could leave a comment under the video for me, just so that I know that everything is working. And if you are interested in the Dynamic Range Day or are a fan of the event or just dynamics in your music in general, please take a minute to share this live stream and send it out on social media so that other people who might be interested can find it. I can see some comments coming in. We got Bart in Belgium, somebody whose name I can't pronounce, leaving a comment. So great to have everybody here. So this is just a very short introduction to the event. Dynamic Range Day is an online event that I've been running since 2010. So this is the 12th year now. It has supporters, including legendary mastering engineers and recording engineers and producers like Bob Ludwig, Guy Massey, Steve Lillywhite, and Bob Katz, amongst many others. I've had so many messages of support for the idea over the years, and it's to raise awareness of the issue of the loudness war. Now, if you're already switching off and thinking, I'm not interested in this stuff, or, oh, this again, let me try and give you a teaser for three things we're going to be talking about today that might surprise and interest you. The first one is that on the webcast tonight at 10:30 p.m. GMT, I'm going to be showing you, I did some research recently, and as best I can tell, 90% of people listening online will not hear how loud your music is. That's, again, as far as I can tell, a global figure, 90%. So only 1 in 10 people are going to notice how loud, in terms of the actual level, your music is. And I'm going to be showing you the evidence for that this evening on the webcast. I'm also going to be talking about how Dolby Atmos has moved the goalposts completely for loudness in 2021 and now 2022. I'm hugely optimistic about this because I think it's an opportunity for so many more people to hear music, the music that they know and love, with more dynamics than they're used to, and to realize the benefits. I actually think a lot of the positive reaction to Dolby Atmos and to Apple Spatial Audio, which is where most people are listening to it, is to do with the dynamics rather than the fact that it's an immersive surround format. Obviously, the two go hand in hand, but that's, I think, a hugely positive development this year. And in fact, at 2 p.m. GMT, which is in 2 hours' time, I'm going to be talking here to Justin Gray from Immersive Mastering about that exact topic. Justin has been working in immersive and Dolby Atmos for years now, has a ton of experience working for major labels and independents, and is a fantastic resource. So we're going to be talking to him about, the opportunities and the challenges of immersive audio in terms of dynamics in 2022. And then finally, the final thing I'm going to be talking about today, I will be posting out on social media soon, a blog post talking about this, is the recent changes that Apple have made to the way they distribute music, which, as I say, are going to make sure that so many more people get the opportunity to hear their music with more dynamics. And I think when you combine all of these things together, there is the potential. I've been hopeful about this stuff before. You guys know me. I'm a huge optimist about loudness and dynamics, but this could be a turning point in the loudness wars, in my opinion. And I'm going to be talking about why that is. And of course, on the webcast this evening, that's 10:30 p.m. GMT, I will be announcing the winner of the 2022 Dynamic Range Day Award for the best sounding dynamic album of the last 12-ish months. You can see the shortlist of the nominees at dynamicrangeday.com/award. And if you have a favorite piece of music that has been produced with great dynamics, or maybe you've produced a piece of music with fantastic dynamics, please share it on the Dynamic Range Day Facebook page or Twitter account, and I will happily reshare that so that other people get the opportunity to experience some dynamic music for themselves. So hopefully that's enough of an idea to keep you interested in the event today. As always, I'm going to be posting loads of stuff. I've got some fairly embarrassing memes lined up for you all. You can hear all the notifications coming in the background. It's great. Everything's going on. I'm also, as I say, going to be sharing information about those changes at Apple that are so significant, in my opinion. There's the live streams, and who knows, I might even try a Twitter room if I have enough time. I've never done one of those before. I don't even really know what it is, but that could be fun to answer some questions. I should also say at the end of the webcast tonight, there's going to be a Q&A session, as has become traditional. So if you're kind of just dropping into this wondering what other people are watching, I'm just going to talk briefly about what Dynamic Range Day is. As I say, it's an online event I've been running since 2010. It's not saying that you can't make your music super loud if you want to. I love loud music. We all love loud music. That's one of the reasons the loudness wars exist. Dynamic Range Day is all about saying you don't have to make your music super loud. You have a choice. And because of the changes in normalization, and because people use volume controls, and because actually people who are not directly involved with creating and making music don't really care about loudness in terms of the level or the compression or any of that stuff. They just like music. So it's perfectly safe to release music with more dynamics, and actually it can be beneficial because it can help your music stand out online or in a playlist or wherever people listen to it. And people really enjoy the dynamic sound, which is one of the things that I think Dolby Atmos is proving. So yeah, there are advantages to releasing your music with balanced dynamics, and it will be able to compete. And I think this is something we should all care about, because I think it's a really sad irony that it's artists and engineers and producers who are making these decisions to make music super loud and crush it. And they're the people who care most about that music. They're doing it because they care about it. And there's a disconnect there. And that's because they think that it will have an influence on whether people like the music or buy the music or whatever. And the evidence is that that's not the case. Sorry, I just have to turn off a notification now. Yeah, there's a ton of evidence that shows that people outside of us guys don't really care about how loud things are. Even to the point where Sound on Sound did a survey or some kind of test where they didn't even bother to level match the music. So literally people were listening to some songs that were 3 dBs louder than the others, which is a really significant difference. And it didn't have any influence on whether people said they liked the music or they enjoyed it or they thought it sounded good, any of that stuff. It doesn't affect sales, it doesn't affect anything. So yeah, it's just really sad that we, the people who care about it so much, feel this pressure to do something that maybe isn't beneficial and could even be harmful to the way that the music sounds and to the way that it comes across and to the emotion that it conveys. And nobody else is going to hear it that way. 90% of people won't hear it online, which is where almost everybody does their listening nowadays. And even if they hear it, they don't care. So it's just really sad. And I understand the pressures on everybody to try and make everything super loud. I've talked to so many producers who just say, it's not an option. I would love to release more dynamic music. People are just not giving me the option. But we know that is an option, because if you go to dynamicrangeday.com/award, you can see a huge list of albums that have been released with more dynamics, and they're big albums. They're very successful. Having more dynamics hasn't done them any harm. So it is possible. And what that means is actually it's not impossible. It's really hard to persuade people. Dolby Atmos, I hope, is going to play a role in that. I'm going to talk about that later with Justin. But I think also, what do we do? Do we just give up and say, okay, I'm going to thrash everything into a limiter? It's all going to go out at -4 LUFS. I mean, I'm not going to stand for that. I don't see why we should give up. I don't see why we should, be defeated in that way. And the only way to try and change people's minds is to offer alternative viewpoints, to play them stuff that sounds fantastic. I already posted, Imagine Dragons are a loud band, right? Their masters on CD are super loud. And people often tell me, oh, well, that's because you need all of that limiting crush and that pressure to get their sound, for it to sound like Imagine Dragons. Well, 2 days ago, I was watching Arcane with my kids. Fantastic animated series on Netflix. Everybody should watch Arcane. It's amazing. The theme song is by Imagine Dragons. I didn't know that. I immediately recognized it when it came on. Sounds fantastic. And I thought, I'll just take a look at that. Sure enough, you find the official video on YouTube. It's mastered at minus 14 LUFS, and it sounds huge, and it still sounds exactly like Imagine Dragons. So I just feel like if we can show more examples of that, if we can show people more Dolby Atmos versions of the same albums that have more dynamics and sound correct, they sound great, they sound as they should, but even better. That kind of positive evidence, I hope, will help change people's opinions going forward, and maybe we can shift this thing back towards more balanced dynamics. So if you want to get involved with the event, please head over to dynamicrangeday.com. Share it. There's a live button on the menu there where you can see all of the upcoming webcasts throughout the day. Head over to the Facebook page if you're not already there. Like the Facebook page, start sharing some stuff. I've got, like I say, some cringy memes to send out over the next few hours. Spread the word. There's a resources page with information for people. There are videos illustrating this stuff. There's research showing all of this stuff. Start sharing this stuff with your audience, with anybody you're connected with online, just so that maybe they get curious and try and find out more about this, and we can help get the word out. That's it. Like I say, there'll be another webcast in about 2 hours' time, 2 p.m. GMT, where I'll be talking to Justin Gray from Immersive Mastering about dynamics in Dolby Atmos. And then the main webcast is tonight in the UK, 10:30 p.m. That is, I believe, 3 p.m. LA time and 3:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. New York time, something like that. If you go to dynamicrangeday.com, click on the live menu item, it'll take you to the page. You can just click play on the videos and it will show you how long there is until that broadcast happens in wherever you are. So there you go. Hopefully something there is interesting, has got you curious. Please share this video, share any of the stuff on the Dynamic Range Day Facebook page or Twitter pages, and by all means drop some questions into the comments below. I'm going to take a look now, and I'll be answering people's questions and chatting to people throughout the day, so please do get involved. That's it. Hopefully I will see you later on. My name's Ian Shepherd. This is Dynamic Range Day. Thanks for listening.